Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and this is actually a continuation of my Tuesday, June 17th show. So you'll see I've labeled this Tuesday, June 17th, Part 2. I just felt that because I had to end the show so abruptly, I had some really good tea to talk about. So I want to continue to talk about it. And as promised, I wanted to do a recording so that way it can be available on all the other platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and so forth. So, yeah, and the good thing about that is that I get to actually add another icon that I get to talk about for the Pride Post segment. I'm going to do a part two of Pride Post segment. And we get to just pretty much finish up all the tea that I had prepared for us for Tuesday, June 17th. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, the first thing I want to share is an interview from Swerve Magazine that did a great write up on Stasha Sanchez, a ballroom icon. So for the previous, so part one of June 17th show, I went ahead and talked about Naomi. So I'm going to talk about another ballroom legend, Stasha Sanchez, who, trust me, if you are, this is like your favorite house mother right here. So let's talk about her. Give me 1 second. Let me get the link. Let's share that here. All right. So, hailed in the ballroom community as an icon, godmother garçon, and celebrated internationally as a pageant queen, Stasha Sanchez has made an indubitable beauty mark in the world. I had a chance to sit down with Stasha virtually from her Atlanta home one September evening. Coming off another long weekend starring in a series of drag performances, Stasha was still recovering. And it says that who wrote this was Zim Van Adams. So, in minimal to no makeup, face framed by long wavy tresses and adorned in a spaghetti strap dress, Stasha appeared from beyond the autumn color backdrop in her living room. An LED circle light illuminates her smooth, glowing skin. I mean, because she is a gorgeous girl. Like, let's just keep it real. Sasha flashes her signature wide smile. The coffee brown beauty was now ready. When Sasha was asked to act as the matriarch for the Team Garçon on the second season of HBO Max's legendary ballroom competition, she accepted with great pride. The House of Garçon board members handpicked Sasha to represent their team as the lead. Her experience with being on stage and performing in front of professional cameras and her quintessential star made her a quintessential star for Garçon's team. Not only did her time on Legendary help to amplify her professional resume, but this opportunity also created special moments of endearment and bonding with the younger stars and members of her house. As team mother, she knew that was important. She knew that it was important for her to elevate her Garcon kids to greatness, but also listen to their thoughts and ideas each week of competition. What she recalls being most proud of was the fact that the House of Garcon team embraced their challenges by using the production stage to tell stories that were creatively restless, artistically adventurous, and uniquely ballroom. There were moments during the 4 months of filming where Sasha found herself nurturing her kids offset, while some of the team endured the hardships of being away from family and friends for an extended period. Unbeknownst to the cast and crew members, Sasha herself would be back in her room checking in with her own ailing biological mother. Having to balance her roles as a devoted daughter, the godmother of Ballroom House, a businesswoman, and the pursuit to be Miss Continental pageant winner, may have possibly cost Sasha one of the lead roles on FX's seminal series of Pose. Sasha had an opportunity to audition virtually for one of the main characters who fans grew to love throughout Pose's 3-season run. However, it would be the inability to successfully navigate technology in the recording and submission of her audition reel while also on the road that will pose the greater obstacle. Sasha takes it all in stride. I asked her about her thoughts, the ways in which ballroom's mother figures and other transgender women were depicted on Pose, namely around the writers sometimes took screenplay liberties that romanticized their real lived experiences. She commented about the intricate and sometimes fanciful stories that Pose shared about transgender women. The show gives hope to the community if you keep pushing. In seasons 1 and 2 of Pose, Stasha states unarguably that the plots really uncover the stories of things that happen inside real ballroom life. Despite the universal, despite the universe pushing Sasha to win Miss Continental as opposed to possibly winning an Emmy for her portrayal as a character on Pose, she appears to be quite pleased with the ways in which the transgender ballroom community was portrayed. Through Sasha's career in entertainment, though Sasha's career in entertainment has afforded her the opportunity to travel across the globe, she was born into a rather traditional family unit in Florida. Raised under the guardianship of both her mother and father, Sasha knew from pubescence that she was different from many of the children in Jacksonville. As a member of her church choir, the Gospel Crusaders, Sasha quickly began developing her knack for performing in front of large audiences. At home, she maintained a close relationship with both her parents. It was her mom, however, who she truly idolized. Sasha describes her mother as a very glamorous lady. She watched her mother put on makeup each day before she left the house. She would be adorned in heels and flowing dresses with her loose coiled hair blowing behind her. Her mother was a beautician. Stasha knew from seeing her mother's overall beauty and witnessing firsthand the poise and decorum her mother exuded that she would too blossom into a living doll herself. In order to feel fully comfortable, Stasha soon abandoned her hometown. She sought refuge among her growing extended family in Orlando, Florida. It was here Sasha would begin living her truth and identifying full time as the woman who captivated spectators of ballroom, drag show lovers, and fans of Legendary. Walking balls for the past 2 decades, Sasha says she hopes to see Legendary geared in a broader direction. Unfortunately, because HBO Max dropped the ball, we won't get to see that. But anyway, Sasha reflects on her early days as a Mugler and says for her, walking a ball and being part of ballroom was like a livelihood of what we wanted in life. In her experiences, ballroom isn't simply about voguing. She liked to see the various houses tasked with creating a cohesive fashion look that would act as a visual narration of the given show themes. Sasha mentioned fashion and bazaar as being two categories that could possibly evoke the traditional ballroom more if included in future seasons of Legendary. Again, yeah, you can tell this article was written before Legendary was canceled. Let's see, it finishes. Stasha has earned the right to hold tight to pieces of the glass ceilings that she helped to shatter. For the girls coming behind her, Sasha's contributions to ballroom and pageantry has made it possible for future generations to see that they can survive the perils of the world by believing in themselves, their dreams, and honing what is their own talents. So shout out to Sasha, and I have to say, I personally got to see Sasha perform at the CC in Raleigh, North Carolina back in the day. This probably was like maybe 2004, 2005. I was fresh young tuna. So, but that was one of I still remember to this day. That was one of the most amazing drag performances I have seen in person in my entire life. Sasha did the damn thing. So I'm honestly not surprised that she's iconic in the ballroom scene because she does the work and she puts on the show. So shout out to that legend, Sasha Sanchez. We wanted to feature her today for part 2 of the Pride Post segment. And again, shout out to Beezus for coining that term. All right. So we're going to go to the next segment and just pretty much finish up with Diddy because Diddy's reading about Diddy and his trial pretty much took up most of the time for the part 1 of the show. So what I'm going to do is just read the summary so that way we won't spend too much time on it. And let's just see. They have a nice catch-up section on the CNN article. Let me first share it here in the Jumbotron. So the way that those listening and want to follow along, you all can go to the slide, and I'm sharing it here on slide 3. Let's get that in there. And there we are. So you have that there on slide 3. So let's hit up the catch-up section. So the headline, sexually explicit videos and text threads. Here's a recap of what evidence the jury saw yesterday. So it says records of the purported 2009 meeting. I think we went over that, but so if this is a repeat, I apologize. The jury saw more records to support a purported December 2009 meeting between Diddy, Cassie, and an escort named Jules at the London Hotel in New York City. The records included those for flights and hotels for that weekend that were paid for with Combs' American Express card. The records showed that Combs paid for flights for Ventura and Jules and a room at the hotel. Then it says travel and hotel invoices from 2012. The jury was shown a travel invoice sent to Bad Boy Entertainment for a flight for Cassie Ventura from LA to NYC on October 10th of 2012. Special Agent Delisa Penland then read some messages between Ventura and Diddy on October 13, 2012 that showed Combs was asking Ventura was she ready for the night. Then the next update, text messages arranging a 2013 freak off. The jury saw text message exchanges of Combs and Ventura setting up a freak off with four men in January 2013 to celebrate Christmas. Then the next update, October 2013 message about a hotel room. The jury saw messages Ventura sent to a man called Dave on October 21st of 2013, asking him to come to a hotel room around 1 a.m. Dave texted her, thanks, LOL, around 8 a.m. The following day, shortly before 8 a.m., Ventura texted, Ventura texted another man, Daniel Phillip, asking him to wait a few more minutes. The next day, October 22nd of 2013, Ventura texted Combs if he filmed anything on his phone, to which Combs said no. And then the last update, it says explicit videos of sexual encounters. For the first time, the jury was shown actual videos of the explicit sexual encounters. Previously, the jury has only seen still images and heard audios of the encounters. The jury was shown clips from three videos created October 2012, October 2014, and December 2014, totaling just over 2 minutes. Jurors, the judge, the witness, and the parties wore headphones. The lawyers were not shown the videos because the monitors are visible to the gallery where members of the public and press are seated. Okay, so I guess I need to apologize again because it looks as if we did go because I actually remember reading most of that. So I guess that was just we apparently didn't miss much when I had to cut the show early. So yeah, so I guess we're all caught up. Now, I believe the next time I will catch you all up about the Diddy trial will actually not be either Wednesday the 18th, June 18th, or Thursday, June 19th, because again, I will be traveling. So we will be back to read about the court's live updates and catch everything up as of Friday, June 20th. Just a heads up. Okay, so that is enough about Diddy. I frankly Diddy'd out for a week. So let's see what we're going to talk about next because it's a lot of things that I had ready for us. R. Kelly, honey. Let me share this TMZ leak. Oh, girl. So initially, remember we did go over him saying that he was another inmate who was part of the Aryan Brotherhood was trying to kill him. Now he's saying that the prison staff is trying to kill his ass, honey. So I just shared a TMZ link. And let's see, you see where it says R. Kelly says the Bureau of Prisons tried to off me again. He alleges plotted overdose that left him hospitalized. R. Kelly is doubling down on his claim that his life is in grave danger in prison, now alleging Bureau of Prisons staff at his federal center in North Carolina purposely gave him too much medication, causing an overdose that left him in the hospital. A court filing submitted by his attorney, Bo B. Brindley, Monday claims R. Kelly was left bedridden in a hospital after a solitary confinement staff member instructed him to take additional medication the night of June 12th. The next morning, the Pied Piper allegedly awakened feeling faint and dizzy, and when he attempted to get up, he fell on the floor, crawled to the door of the cell, and lost consciousness. Let me see, keep reading. Give me 1 second. Okay. He was subsequently taken to Duke University Hospital, and during the ride there, he claims he heard a prison officer begrudge, this is going to open a whole new can of worms. During his 2-day stay at the hospital, Kelly says he learned he was given an amount of his prescribed medication that could have ended his life. Furthermore, Kelly claims in his Monday filing, prison staff took him off necessary blood thinner medication and is now refusing to allow him a doctor recommended surgery to clear blood clots in his legs and lungs that are putting his life in danger. Instead, they have him locked up in solitary confinement, where Kelly has expressed to his lawyer he is convinced he will be killed or left to die. Therefore, the disgraced music mogul is asking for a temporary release of to home confinement for the third time, arguing his life depends on it. Prosecutors swiftly filed a response to Kelly's request, alleging he continuously paints himself as the victim, adding, "This is the behavior of an abuser and a master manipulator on display." The response also claims Kelly knowingly submitted an action to a court that has no jurisdiction over his case, accusing him of instead choosing to write to let this court know that he is cold in prison and to criticize the medical care that he is receiving in order to turn his situation into a grocery store checkout aisle tabloid. Kelly's latest filing comes just a week after his legal team sought his immediate release due to an alleged murder for hire plot against him that we went over. His team submitted a sworn statement from another inmate, an Aryan Brotherhood gang member named Mikhail Glenn Stein, who claimed authorities offered him release from the clink if he murdered the singer. Stein was in on the plan at first, but changed his mind and spilled the beans to Kelly, according to the filing. However, Kelly alleges a different member of the Aryan Brotherhood has been asked to take out both himself and Stein. As you know, Kelly is serving a 3-decade prison sentence for his 2021 racketeering and sex trafficking convictions. He's been in jail for a handful of years, but according to him, they're doing quite a number on him and not the musical kind. Mm-mm. No words, honey. No words. It's kind of funny. They took him. I was born and raised, born in Duke Hospital, so they took him to that hospital because he's in Butner, North Carolina. From what I understood, I'm actually just finding out that he was there because after he was convicted, I really stopped paying attention to him. But so he just putting any story out there, honey, to see what sticks. He claimed so. First, the Aryan Brotherhood was gonna kill him. Then kill the man who allegedly said that he was gonna be a murder for hire because he didn't do the murder for hire. Now they're gonna kill both R. Kelly and him. Now the Bureau of Prisons is giving him too much medication and refusing to get him a surgery. Okay, child. Okay, Robert. Anyway, next. What's the next story I got for y'all, child? I have no words. Tyler Perry, what are you doing, honey? Let's talk about this. What are you doing? Well, a lot of us aren't really surprised because the writers have been on the wall, allegedly. But I just shared a TMZ link, and you see where it says here Tyler Perry sued for sexual assault. Oval actor claims years of harassment and more. So let's dig into it. Tyler Perry is facing an accusation of sexual assault, a claim coming from an actor on his long running TV show, The Oval, and one of Tyler's camp calls a scam, TMZ has learned. Derek Dixon filed a lawsuit against Perry, and in the docs, he claimed he and the director met at an event back in 2019. In Derek's words, Tyler picked him out of the crowd and asked him for his phone number, suggesting he might have a role for him. As it turns out, he did. Derek says Tyler gave him a small role in 2 episodes of a show called Ruthless. Then, in January of 2020, Derek says Tyler invited him to his Atlanta home, and he accepted, hoping to build a friendship that would lead to more acting gigs. But according to the suit, while there, Derek drank too much and ended up sleeping in a guest room. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Derek claims Tyler got in bed with him and started touching his thighs. And although he rejected the advances that night, he claims Tyler remained interested. Excuse me. Shortly thereafter, Derek says he landed the role of Dale in The Oval. Great for his career, but he claims it was around this time that Tyler also started firing off sexually suggestive texts, including asking what Drew's sexual preferences were and telling him he has sex with men. Derek also notes his character, Dale, was written as a gay, homeless, and desperate store clerk who had to sleep with other characters for a place to stay. He claims that's exactly what Tyler told him he was looking for in a real life sexual partner. Someone who will be loyal and dependent upon Tyler. Derek says he feels his career would be derailed if he flatly rejected Tyler. So instead he told him he just wasn't the sexual type, quote unquote. But he was always terrified he'd lose his job if he complained of sexual harassment. To that point, he says Tyler once again invited him to his Atlanta home, invited him to Atlanta later in 2020, and things allegedly took a dark turn. Derek claims Perry greeted him warmly, but quickly started a sexually charged conversation, like asking him if he likes it rough in bed, and then grabbed Derek by the throat while saying, "Look at how excited you just got." Oh my God, Tyler. He then he says he pushed Tyler away, and that was the end of the alleged incident. The lawsuit includes years of text messages allegedly sent between both men. Most of the ones Tyler allegedly sent are sexually charged. For instance, one reads, "No straight man would be going on walks with you or cooking dinner for you unless they wanted to fuck you. I would fuck you." That's what Tyler says to him. The most aggressive incident allegedly went down in June of 2021, again at Tyler's Atlanta home. Dixon was staying in the guest house and was wearing only his underwear when he says Tyler came in to give him a good night hug. Girl. He alleges Tyler yanked down his underwear, groped his butt, and said, "Relax," and just let it happen, and assured him that it wasn't going to hurt. Oh my God. Dixon says he managed to rebuff this advance by changing the subject. According to the suit, Dixon finally filed a complaint with Equal Employment and Opportunity Commission in June of 2024 and then quit the Oval, saying he could no longer put up with the alleged sexual harassment. Dixon is suing Tyler and Tyler Perry Studios for quid pro quo for workplace sexual harassment and sexual assault and battery, and he is seeking $260 million in damages. Tyler's attorney, Matthew Boyd, tells us this is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. And the story is still developing. Ain't developing enough. You mean the story is still waiting for Tyler Perry to send a check to sweep it under the rug, honey? Baby, if you've been paying attention, Tyler Ben Perry, allegedly. Tyler Ben Perry. The writers have been on the wall. People have heard whispers all through, even back when Tyler was doing Medea plays. The writers have been on the wall, and it says he only hires a certain type of man, a certain look of a type of man, and he tries to use these men for sexual favors, and helps them advance their careers. These rights have been now. These are all alleged. Nobody has came out and said this is the only person who came out and actually alleged him and sued him and put something in paper, put something in the court of law. But Christian Keys, it's been alleged. Like even though he has came out and say that he was not talking about Tyler Perry, all the other evidence that he's a black billionaire who worked in TV and media, who has a reputation of hiring young guys. So who else we know? So, baby, 1 + 1 is 2. So we don't care anyway. But yeah, so this is very. Let's see what. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm sure other people in my community are not surprised. Maybe the only people who are surprised is his target demographic. Maybe those church people. They may be surprised. I don't know. No disrespect to church people, really. But this is not surprising to me. So that's that on that. What do we have to talk about next? Oh, Chrisette Michelle, hun, about time somebody on her team tried to get her some sympathy points. So now she says she has severe autism, honey. Severe autism. So I just shared this link on Vibe from Vibe magazine. You see where it says Chrisette Michelle announces severe autism diagnosis. My life finally makes sense. So I think maybe because I think they did kind of treat her unfairly after, especially when they see people like Snoop Dogg and Soldier Boy still able to maintain and make money in black spaces. But they when I say they canceled Chrisette was canceled, honey. Canceled anyway. So R&B singer Chrisette Michelle has revealed that she's been diagnosed with autism, a development she only recently became aware of. Who just had a pop-up ad. Okay, so the Grammy-winning artist shared the news in a heartfelt Instagram post on Sunday, June 15th. opening it up to fans about her journey of self discovery and the clarity that has come with her diagnosis. I just learned I'm autistic, Michelle wrote, captioning two photos from a recent performance in Atlanta, Georgia. Official diagnosis, she continued, noting that doctors determined her to be severely autistic. The 42-year-old, known for her soulful vocals and genre-blending artistry, explained that the diagnosis has shed light on long-standing questions she's had about her life and how she experiences the world. Despite the weight of the news, Michelle emphasized that she remains committed to performing and caring for her mental health. I've been outside, she added, singing, but learning to strip the mask. One show at a time, the irony. Just coming to grips with a lot and giving myself room to take it all in. My life and its challenges finally make sense. So much sense. Autistic. Would you get a load of that? I'll talk more soon. Just wanted to say hi from the stage side. And this is where it talks about her being canceled. Michelle garnered backlash in 2016 after performing at the United States President Donald Trump's inauguration, which the singer says caused her to be disowned by her own family and dropped from her record label. Her announcement has been met with an outpouring of support from fans and fellow artists, many praising her vulnerability and courage. As Michelle continues to navigate life with her new diagnosis, she plans to speak more about the experience, offering insight into the personal journey behind the spotlight. And then there's an Instagram post of her. She looks cute, but how much y'all want to bet? She probably gonna use, the autism made me sing at his inauguration. She already tried to tell us she was trying to bridge a gap that nobody asked her to bridge. But okay, girl. Well, hey, listen, I'm all for going to get things checked out and putting a rightful label on where it belongs. So congrats to her for finding out she has severe autism. Okay, so that's that on that. What do I have next? Brashear Gray, honey. Oh God, I'm telling y'all, this is like a manic. I feel like it's a manic episode. He said, then again, you don't listen to me because I'm not a health professional, but I have read stories that he does have bipolar disorder, and he does not like to take his medications. So I mean, one plus one is two, but it looks like he was just arrested, and I'm trying to get the article for you all. Give me 1 second here. So sorry, it's just taking chat most a little longer than normal to try to upload this link. Give me 1 second. Hmm. Well, sorry about that. So it looks like it's not sharing the link, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it anyway. But let's read about Brashear getting arrested. So it was a link from Vibe that I was actually trying to share. Oh, so maybe Chat Mosa wasn't the problem. Maybe it was Vibe because this article is loading up very slowly. Let me just try one more time. Yeah, it's not cooperating. So enough of that. Let's get back to. I do have the article up here. So Vibe says Empire star Brashear Gray charged with assault and battery. Oh my God. Brashear Gray has been charged with assault and battery after a private citizen in Virginia pressed charges and an arrest warrant has been issued. There was no arrest made in the matter. However, the charges stem from an alleged incident that took place last week at a hotel. According to a local news station, WABY, the 31-year-old assaulted an associate of his, Dustin Wilkins, who goes by the name Chosen, after an argument at Homewood Suites. As I was explaining to him that he can't just leave without paying, adding, you have enough problems, I'm trying to save your life, detailed Wilkins' account in the arrest warrant. He then charged towards me from around the car, charged into me with his shoulder and fighting me as I was recording the incident over the phone, a blunt blow into me and punching me. Wilkins continued to detail how he is a friend of the former Empire star and attributed his behavior to mental health issues in an exclusive interview with the news station. See, I told y'all. Um, Something took place in a mental health aspect. I cannot disclose what happened. I cannot disclose the details of that, explained Wilkins to WABY. All I can tell you is Brashear is a friend. He's like my brother. He is just someone who is dealing with some very interesting mental health issues. Yeah, bipolar disorder, and he's not taking his medicine. Anyway, he continues to explain Brashear doesn't need to be in jail. He wouldn't survive in jail. He needs mental help, Chosen explained. In 2022, Gray was arrested on domestic abuse charges and violated his probation in the year after he pled guilty to aggravated assault against his wife. He also previously pled guilty to felony aggravated assault in a tense standoff with the SWAT team at his home in 2020. In this incident, he was sentenced to 10 days in county jail in order to serve 3 years probation. I really hope. I mean, I agree with his friend Chosen. Like, I mean, what is jail gonna do? He clearly has mental health problems, but the problem is he's not taking his medication. So I just really hate that he and the people who love him, his friends and family, have to suffer along with him. But this is another story where the writings have been on the wall for a long time. Like we've heard, even Terrence Howard said that he had an incident with him on set of the Empire. So but I knew him like doing that OnlyFans stuff. I knew something wasn't right then. You can't. I know his like. I was a fan of all the actors on that show, so I read up on his background. He was raised by a single mother. They was raised in church, so you can't go from praising the Lord to busting your cat wide open on camera and on OnlyFans. Like it just doesn't add up. But whatever's clever, hun. I truly, I'm with Chosen. I hope he gets the help he needs, and it's not jail. He clearly needs help. Well, that's enough about Brashear, honey. What do I have next? Let's see. Oh, Matthew Perry, the doctor that was responsible. Now, this story is crazy, honey. Let me share this link. So this was a TMZ article. Let me get this here. Hopefully, this article will give us a little bit it'll cooperate more than what that Vibe article about Brashear did. Let's see what happens. Nope, it looks like yeah, not sure what's going on, but I'm having trouble uploading the links. But no worries because this is like the second to last story that I have anyway. So no need to even share the links. I'll just tell you where it came from. Like this one, this is from TMZ that talks about that doctor that was involved in Matthew Perry's death. So TMZ says Matthew Perry's death, Dr. Placencia agrees to plead guilty. So one of the doctors charged in connection with Matthew Perry's ketamine death is one step closer to doing hard time because he just copped to a slew of crimes. According to new legal docs obtained by TMZ, Dr. Salvador Placencia, one of two physicians busted in the Perry case, has agreed to plead guilty to 4 counts of distribution of ketamine. Federal prosecutors say they expect Dr. Placencia to formally enter his plea in the coming weeks. He's facing up to 40 years in federal prison, but both sides have agreed to recommend a sentence of 15 to 21 months, though it's ultimately up to the judge. As we reported, Placencia was accused of supplying Matthew's assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, with several vials of ketamine and showing him how to administer the drug. He was also accused of administering ketamine to Matthew. Placencia is the guy Fed say sent the message about Matthew saying, I wonder how much this moron will pay for the ketamine. Oh my God. The other physician charged in the case, Dr. Mark Chavez, already cut a plea deal, as did Iwamasa and Eric Fleming, who prosecutors say helped broker the drug deals. Meanwhile, Jasmine Sangha, aka the Ketamine Queen, is still fighting the charges against her. Baby. Mm-mm. That was crazy though. And then what I don't understand. This is how you know, like, even though for a doctor to go through that many years of school, they still don't have any common sense. Because what on earth would possess you to text something like that that has a record? Are you kidding me? Or maybe that white privilege just had him messed up, honey. He just thought he could say something like that and get away with it, and now he's learning really quick. Mm-mm. Well, he not even white. Let's see, Placencia, that looks a little brown, honey. So you don't have the complexion for the protection, Dr. Placencia, and that's why your ass had to take a plea deal. Anyway, next, what is the last story? Okay, so maybe I might have to eat my words, y'all. Because remember, I said I was one of the people that said, "Oh, Portia, she called Ice on Simon. She called Ice on Simon trying to get his ass out of here and deport it back to Nigeria." But maybe not. Maybe not. She, who knows? Maybe she did, and maybe she's doing this to, like, maybe distract that she did do it. But let's see. So I have this link from Hot New Hip Hop, and you see where it said, well, you all don't see because I can't share the link, but it says Portia Williams reveals she allegedly helped pay Simon Gabadia's child support during his ICE detainment. So to me, after reading the headline, to me, I don't think I would call ICE on somebody but still pay their child support. But then again, who knows? Portia might do something like that. Allegedly, allegedly. Anyway, Portia Williams allegedly stepped up to help out her estranged husband. Oops, sorry, give me 1 second. Pop up. So Portia Williams allegedly stepped up to help out her estranged husband, Simon Gubadia, after his detainment by ICE. Leaked audio from the couple's divorce proceedings that is circulating on social media shows the Real Housewives of Atlanta star admitting to paying for his child support and other expenses. Yes, I pay his child support for his two sons. I also pay maintenance for the house outside of utilities, she said in audio caught by Vibe. I really got concerned being that Simon was still detained. I'm still married to him at the end of the day. And I really felt that it was unfortunate that they weren't getting any help. The mother had reached out to my assistant and said that she was concerned. When I spoke to her, she made me aware that it had not been paid, so I paid his child support. Williams and Gabadia's marriage only lasted just over a year. The terms of their prenup reportedly included monthly alimony, division of property, and legal cost coverage. Authorities originally apprehended Gabadia in February. Despite spending 4 months in an ICE detention facility, he recently told U.S. Weekly that he doesn't harbor any resentment towards President Donald Trump and his controversial immigration policies. Mm. Do I even want to read the rest of this? I don't like where this is going. Donnie, like I referred to him. Oh God, I knew I wasn't gonna like where this is going. Yeah, Donnie, like I refer to him, we are very similar. We're both Geminis, and some of his antics, I certainly can understand it. Sometimes I would say that we are misunderstood. He told the outlet earlier this month. I don't have any animosity towards the situation. I don't have any problems with Donald Trump, like any other CEO or chief executive who I am. We look to hire the best people we can find, and the issues that he's dealing with are no different than any other organization. I feel that I have a very unique perspective on this situation, considering that I was there for as long as I was. And there are so many things that I saw that I feel that I can help the administration with. Simon, get off my line. Get off my line. You know what? Keep his ass in there since he want to be stupid. Keep his ass in ICE. Keep it in. Deport his ass back to Nigeria. You know what? I am so here for immigration rights, but when it comes to immigrants like this, you got to get it out of my face, honey. Are you kidding me? First of all, sir, that's not your friend, so you don't call him Donnie. And then he's trying to compare him like you two are one and the same. Donald Trump has white privilege, boo. You do not, and that's why your ass is currently detained by ICE. And you talking about so we're both Gemini's. No, you're not. You need to focus on the wrong things, baby. And you know what? If Portia, if you did call ICE on his ass, good job, because that's what you get for marrying his ass anyway. Well, y'all, that's all I have. That was all the tea that I had for yesterday. Thank you for Sorry I had to break it into two parts, but you kind of know how travel plans and time changes and food with family goals. So it was I had to go either go or starve. So I love y'all, but not more than my food. So, but thank you for taking time out of your busy day to sip tea with me. Again, I will be back on Friday, June 20th, with more tea, and I'll keep you all updated on the Diddy Trials live updates. In the meantime, you all have a fabulous rest of your day.